The President of the European Commission has unveiled a 5-part proposal to mobilise $840 billion in defence spending. Ursula von der Leyen says the package aims to help member states as well as offer immediate assistance to Ukraine. Calls to reinforce Europe's defence come days after the US president clashed with his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky. A White House official says that decision to hold military equipment already in transit to Kyiv could be reversed if the country's leaders demonstrate a good faith commitment to peace. And for more, Will Denselow joins us live from Brussels. Will, that plan from Ursula von der Leyen, spending better, spending together. But given that this is to fill the gap that would be left, should the US really be America first in all its policies, is it enough?
That was the question pointed to the European Commission during their daily briefing. Will this funding by Europe be enough to offset potential freezing of Washington's support? There was no yes or no answer from European Commission spokespeople, but they said that the support for Ukraine will be unwavering and that the EU will continue to put their money where their mouth is. Now, what they have said when it comes to support for Ukraine, there will be short-term providing of ammunition to Kyiv. And the real takeaway from Ursula von der Leyen, the Commission President, she said that this is now an era of rearmament and Europe is taking steps not only to protect Ukraine in the short term, but to bolster Europe's collective security in the long term. You mentioned a few of the details in this plan. This includes freeing up public financing, public funding. Ursula von der Leyen says that if European member states chip in an additional 1.5% of annual GDP on defence, that would free up roughly over $650 billion in defence supplies over a period of 4 years. She said that $150 billion plus in loans will be freed up, as well as utilising the private sector, things like the European Investment Bank. So there are clear plans to how to bolster Europe's collective security. But of course, real question marks remain about what this will mean for Kyiv in its war with Russia without US support.
Part of answering that question, an extraordinary EU leaders summit coming up this Thursday. As you mentioned, short-term plans for immediate aid to Ukraine and longer-term rearming Europe to defend itself as a continent. This summit, is there anything we should be looking out for coming from this extraordinary leaders summit Thursday this week?
Well, Ursula von der Leyen has sent letters to the leaders of the European member states with this action plan for spending. So it'll be a chance for member states to have their buy-in on what they make of the Commission's proposals. The European Union has proposed over $60 billion in military support for Ukraine for 2025. All eyes will be on how that'll be used, what can be used in the immediate term to support Kyiv on the battlefield. Other things like on whether to use Russian frozen assets to support Ukraine. That'll be a key topic of discussion. And of course, this coalition of the willing that's been flagged by European leaders in recent days, namely the UK and France, whether Europe would be prepared to send peacekeeping forces to Ukraine in the eventuality, in the possibility of any kind of peace proposal in the future. Those are some of the topics that will dominate the agenda when European leaders gather here in Brussels on Thursday.
Thanks. That Will Denselow reporting live there from Brussels.